Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the description of the data show slides for connective tissue. First, you have to remember the general characters of the connective tissue. It is characterized by having cells, fibers, and matrix. The cells are widely separated from each other. The fibers are of three types: collagen, elastic, and reticular, and it is penetrated by blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatics. It originates from the mesoderm, and its function is to support the other tissues and organs. Here, this is a picture for the connective tissue proper, which is composed of cells and fibers and matrix. Cells here are of two types, fixed and free. The fibers are of three types, collagen, elastic, and reticular. And the matrix here is characterized by being soft or jelly-like. First, we will discuss the connective tissue cells, which are divided into fixed and free. Fixed are intrinsic component, and they are produced and remain in this connective tissue. And they are actually of many types, in addition to free cells that originate from the blood and leave the blood to the connective tissue, and they are continuously replaced, belonging to the immune system. This is the first one in the fixed connective tissue cell, which is called undifferentiated mesenchymal cell. In each cell, you should remember the site, LM, EM, and the functions. First, here, as regards the site, these cells are present in the connective tissue of the embryo. In the adult, they are remaining in certain types to act as a reserve. These types are of tissues in which these cells are present are the bone marrow, and also to give طبعا blood cells, and also the around blood vessels to give rise to cell called pericyte. As regards the LM, they are small stellate cells, and they are having a basophilic cytoplasm. Here the cytoplasm is basophilic, and they have a large oval pale nucleus with prominent nucleolus. As regards the EM, this is the cell, and this is the nucleus. Here the cell is small, and actually it is branched. Here is the cell, the nucleus, the nucleolus. The cell, the nucleus, the nucleolus. As regards the EM, what is the main component in this cell? It is the ribosomes. So by EM, these branched small stellate cells have an achromatic nucleus with prominent nucleolus, and they have a lot of ribosomes. Free ribosomes. As regards the function, these cells can give rise to the other connective tissue cells, can give rise to the blood cells inside the blood vessel, blood cells, also the lining of the blood vessel, which is called endothelium, also the smooth muscles in the wall of this blood vessel. So it gives rise to this is a blood vessel, it gives rise to the blood cells, it gives rise to the lining of the blood vessel, which is the endothelium, it gives rise to the smooth muscle in the wall of the blood vessels. And this is in addition to the first function, which is giving rise to the other connective tissue cells. This is the second fixed connective tissue cell, and from now and later on, for each cell, you should add a point which is the origin. So, as regards the origin of this cell, which is called pericyte, this cell is originating, as we have said, from the undifferentiated mesenchymal cell. As regards the sites, they are present around the blood vessel. This is the blood vessel, and this cell, which is the pericyte, is present around the blood vessel. And as regards the LM, it is branched with long processes. It is branched cell, and the long processes, as you see here, are present along the longitudinal axis of the blood vessel. They are impressing this blood vessel, and they are passing parallel to the longitudinal axis of the blood vessel and surrounding the blood vessel. So it is branched cell, but here the processes are very long and they are surrounding the blood vessel. The body is present parallel to the long axis, and the processes cover the long axis of the blood vessel, which is actually here the blood capillary. This is a blood capillary. And as regards the rest of the description of the light microscope, they have the same features as their mothers. They are pale basophilic cells. They are pale basophilic cells with a large oval pale nucleus and prominent nucleolus. As regards the EM, here, what you will expect to have also the free ribosomes like her mother, free ribosomes, and also an element which is very important for their function, which is a network of actin and myosin, as these cells is capable of contraction. So it should have the contractile elements which are actin and myosin. As regards the function, in case of injury, as regards the function. Number one, in case of injury to the connective tissue, they can change to give other components like smooth muscle, endothelial cells, as well as fibroblast. Fibroblast that can regenerate the different connective tissue components. So, but in case of injury, it changes to smooth muscle, endothelium, and fibroblast. In normal condition, its contraction will lead to vasoconstriction, which is the constriction of the blood vessel, يعني انقباض blood capillary. Notice here a very important feature in this figure, which is the pericytes here are present under the base membrane which covers or surrounds the blood vessel. Here it is not over the base membrane, it is under this base membrane. So the base membrane here covers the pericytes together with the endothelial cells forming the wall of the blood vessel. The third type is the fibroblast. The origin of the fibroblast is from the UMC and her daughter pericytes. The site, it is the most common type of cell in all connective tissue proper types. As regards the LM, you should remember the following. It is a very branched cell. The branches here are very numerous, many branches, and they are long branches. This is as regards the shape. Many branches which are long. The nucleus is central, oval, pale with a prominent nucleolus. As regards the cytoplasm, it is deeply basophilic. So the cytoplasm أزرق غامق قوي, while the nucleus is large, oval, and pale. This is the LM picture of this cell. As regards the EM picture, here you will expect to have the following. The extreme and marked basophilia is due to the presence of a huge amount of rough endoplasmic reticulum together with the ribosomes. free ribosomes. And the rough endoplasmic